All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about the future of revenue operations leadership. Why? Because in a world that's being completely rewired by AI, the playbook that got us here, well, it's just not going to get us where we need to go. So let's break down what's really changing.
This is really the big question we're tackling today, isn't it? As technology like AI becomes, just part of the furniture, the skills that make a leader truly essential are shifting, big time. It's becoming less about managing a process and way more about a whole new way of thinking.
But hey, before we can talk about where we're going, we've got to get real about where we've been. So let's take a quick look at the traditional RevOps model, and frankly, why it's running out of steam.
For years, RevOps was all about designing these really rigid, predictable processes. And the perfect example of this is the classic customer funnel, right? That straight line from awareness all the way down to purchase. The whole name of the game was efficiency and making sure everyone stuck to the playbook. But here's the thing, that's just not how people buy stuff anymore. Think about it. Modern customers, they're everywhere. They jump across different channels, their timelines are all over the place, their expectations are constantly changing, their journey is messy, it's unpredictable, and it is definitely not a straight line, which of course makes that old, rigid funnel pretty much obsolete.
And just as that old model is breaking down, this massive, disruptive force shows up and changes the game for literally every business leader out there. I'm talking about the rapid, and let's be honest, the unstoppable rise of artificial intelligence.
There's a lot of excitement and maybe a little bit of anxiety around AI in the RevOps world. But the biggest mistake people make is thinking its job is to replace humans. That's not it at all. The real power of AI is as an amplifier. It's a multiplier for our own intelligence, not a substitute for it.
And this right here, this quote, gets to the absolute heart of it. You can have the smartest, most powerful AI on the planet, but if you drop it into a broken, chaotic system, you're just going to create more chaos faster. The tech is only ever as good as the strategic thinking behind it.
So, what does that strategic thinking look like? Well, leaders who are ready for the future have to make sure these three things are true. First, the data you're feeding the AI has to be clean, consistent, and actually mean something. Garbage in, garbage out, right? Second, the AI models have to be directly tied to what the business is actually trying to accomplish. And finally, any automation you build should help teams work together, not just create new walls between them.
Okay, so this brings us to the first huge mental shift for modern leaders. We have to stop thinking about designing these static, rigid processes. We have to start thinking about designing dynamic, living systems. So what in the world is an adaptive system? Well, think of it like an operational model that's actually built for change. It's designed from the ground up to learn from new information, to bend without breaking, and to evolve over time. In a world that's changing faster and faster, this isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a full-on survival strategy.
Let's make this real. Instead of some static model that tells you which channel gets credit for a sale, imagine a system that actually learns from new customer behaviors and automatically adjusts how it assigns that credit. It literally gets smarter and more accurate over time. Or here's another one. Instead of setting sales territories once a year and just hoping for the best, an adaptive system could rebalance them on the fly. It could use real-time data on sales rep capacity and market opportunities to make sure you're always putting your people in the best position to win.
And one more for you, think about customer health scores. An adaptive system wouldn't just look at how often someone uses your product. No, it would pull in new signals from the market, like big economic shifts or new industry trends, to constantly refine its prediction of which customers are at risk or which ones are ready to grow.
This whole idea of a living system, it leads directly to our second massive strategic shift. We have to move past that old linear funnel and start embracing a much more dynamic and realistic model.
And wow, when you put them side by side, the difference is night and day. The old funnel was all about efficiency and silos and rigidly sticking to the process. This new model, the feedback loop, is all about getting teams to coordinate and constantly experiment. It's a huge leap from getting one-time insights to having true strategic agility.
And that's really the key thing to get here. This isn't just about drawing a different picture on a whiteboard. A feedback loop, when you design it right, across your data, your teams, and your timing, it becomes the actual engine that lets a company learn, adapt, and move with incredible speed and intelligence.
So, we've talked about AI, we've talked about adaptive systems and feedback loops. What's the one thing that ties all of this together? Well, it's a very specific mindset. It's a way of seeing the world that gives certain leaders a massive edge.
It's the mindset of the system thinker.
You know, in a business world that is just obsessed with more data, more tools, more growth at all costs, the leaders who are actually going to win are the ones who have the courage to stop and ask better. Their value isn't in managing all the noise, it's in their ability to find the signal in that noise.
So the first question a system thinker always asks is this: does this new tool, or this new process, or this new project, does it actually fit into a coherent, interconnected whole? Or are we just adding another random piece to the puzzle that's going to make things even more complicated?
Their second question is all about speed, but not just the speed of getting things done. It's about the speed of learning. Is our organization actually set up to quickly absorb what the market is telling us and then actually adapt our strategy based on that information? And the third question, and this one is absolutely critical, are our metrics telling us the real story? It's so easy to just measure the things that are convenient. System thinkers push past that. They fight to measure the things that truly drive long-term sustainable growth.
So when you boil it all down, this is it. The skill set that makes a leader irreplaceable for the next decade isn't just one thing. It's a powerful combination of three. First, systems literacy, the ability to see how all the pieces connect. Second, strategic foresight, to anticipate what's around the corner. And third, technical fluency, so you can actually leverage the tools, like AI, that are going to shape that future.
And what this all means is that the role of a RevOps leader is being completely elevated. They're no longer just tweaking the machine or optimizing functions that already exist. No, they are the architects. They are designing the entire revenue engine of the future.
And that leaves us with one final thought to take away. This kind of leadership, it doesn't just happen by accident. It has to be nurtured. It has to be cultivated. So the question for you is, how is your organization finding, empowering, and amplifying the voices of these critical system thinkers? Because they're the ones who are going to define what's next.